They offered options because the real answer, the solar micronova, is not exactly a tool.
Alrighty, Doc here from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. And here we go. Let's see what's going on here. Let's see what the chat line looks like. It's happy the hump day. It's Wednesday. Let's see where we are. We can see dollars firming up. Surprise, surprise. Markets are falling down. People run to the dollar. Odd. But anyway, that's the way it goes. Alright, now let's get on to Dukascopy's YouTube so I can see if there's any questions. Where are you? There it is. Alright. With the cowboy hat on, I like that.
There is disturbing news out of Vernon Central High School.
What's going on?
Okay, there we go. And I see Daniel, where you been hiding? Are you all done school now or what?
Daniel, where you been hiding? Are you all done school now or what?
Sounds odd. And there's 47. Stocks in the red. That's what it is. You're right about that. 47 says, hey Doc, what do you think of the Bitcoin Ethereum? Boy, I was trying to get the Ethereum up as a futures contract, and they have some really strange situations going on there. That illiquidity that I keep on talking about is there. Hello, hello. Let me see who this is. Robin. Oh. Robin. There you are. Okay. All right. I'll send it over to. I'll send it over to you right now. Bye bye.
And I got what's his name's number.
Oh, okay. Bye bye. All right. So there we go. The dollar is going up. You can see here the Swissy. Where is it? Right there. Odd sound.
The dollar is going up.
There we go. You can see here, right. Where is it at? Right there. Is that better? I think that might be better. You can see it right there on the J4X. We've got the Swiss franc going. Oh, that's on the Chicago Quant. On the J4X, it's just, I guess it's just starting to get organized. You know, I forgot why that line was in there, but anyway, it looks kind of neat. You can see it's trying to show some life in it. It's got that line in there that gives you, I forget what that's all about. I don't remember that. Just noticed it just now. I noticed that it's going up. Let's see what that is. That is the linear aggression. Oh, I like that. Nice. You know, it kind of shows that action I'm seeing on the Chicago Quant side of it with my line going up. You can see here this two is meeting each other, so it's trying to lift. And then the laggard there, that MACD that we leave up there for Daniel, he's teaching us how to utilize that thing. It seems to be the laggard indicator out of it all. Let's see. Crash? No, but I saw some really strange stuff in, like this morning I was trying to get the contracts up for Ethereum, and it still doesn't want to take it. They're not reflecting that they use it, and I can understand why. When I was a young man, there was a stock index called the value line, and it barely had any volume. It was just, we were just starting to, it was the first stock index maybe, and then they did, Chicago had the S&P 500, and so what we did is the volume in it was always weird. It was very low volume, but the open interest was lower than the daily volume, which was really strange, which meant that there was no real liquidity to it. And Bitcoin, I looked at Bitcoin this morning, and I looked at Ethereum futures on the CME. Now I can get the Bitcoin, but it won't take the Ethereum for some reason. They're not quoting it. And the open interest is lower than the daily volume. It's the same in both Bitcoin and Ethereum. So no, I just see this as tax selling, you know, liquidations, things like that. I don't see it as a crash in the cryptos or anything like that. I don't see the weakness being that pronounced. Yeah, what's Bitcoin? Bitcoin's like oil in a sense. The volatility is dramatic. It's always going to be dramatic. It's a very powerful product. It's competing against the Federal Reserve, the central banks, the governments. You know, it's a very powerful product that's fighting the mainstream. Now, we're starting to see inflation pretty clearly, and I thought that the cryptos, they showed life in themselves as the inflation factor started to increase. But now because of maybe the end of the year and tax selling and all that other stuff, they're having some issues, and you have China playing games, and you have the United States threatening games, and there's a lot of things going on with the governments fighting the cryptos. Now, my opinion has not changed. I don't see what's this, LTC? Hey, Victoria, how you doing? LTC. Is that the you're in? Oh, okay, you're in those two products. I tried to get the ETH. I tried to put that in today, but it didn't want to. Whoop! I forgot to send it. I'll send it right now. Oh, okay, perfect. Oh, okay, that's good. All right, bye-bye. No, that's no problem. So, I don't see it as a crash. Down 20 some odd grand doesn't really mean a lot to me when it comes to Bitcoin. I mean, it's up from like 10 or 12,000 12 months ago. So, I mean, it's still 4 times higher than where it was before, 3.5 times higher. So, but it's in a tough neighborhood. It's trying to fight with Fed and the central banks and the governments and all like that, and that's fine because I think it's going to win. Matter of fact, I don't think it's going to win. It has been winning. And so, this back and fill to me. Also here, let's show you on the charts here. My work has been bearish in this product. You can see it on the fact check spreadsheet over here. We're 6 weeks in a sell. We're 10 days in a sell. All right, so none of this is a surprise. I mean, we've caught pretty much, our math caught the top. So as far as I'm concerned, it's not anything abnormal going on. Let's see if we can find it here. Right there it is. You can see it right there. You see that action. And that's it right there right now. 37.80, 840. It's been in a daily sell since up in here. It went into the weekly sell up in here. It gave us a little pop. It warned us not to be. I guess it was short all the way up to here, and then went another $500 or $5,000 up. And our system was saying that at the top that it was a loser right here. Now, there's no chicken dinner out of this, but all the chicken dinner came from here. It was short for all this action, all the way down here. All that action, it was short for it. So it made tens of thousands of dollars, and then went into a buy again somewhere around here, and you couldn't take it because we're in the weekly sell. We've been in the weekly sell since up here. So and then we went into the weekly sell, daily sell with the weekly sell here, and again it dropped from the $55,000 area down to what now, 37,000. So to me, it's orderly. It's not really anything panicky. That's the way I look at it. And I could see I saw the Ethereum this morning. What, 2,800, something like that. So that they've taken a little bit more out of that. Now there are 2 different technologies. What is it? One is the one is the node, and the other one is the the Oracle. So I mean, Ethereum is trying to cater to a different sector than the Bitcoin does. So, but they're all feeling it at the moment. I think it's tax season myself. That's all. That's the way I see it. Okay, so that's that crash. Yeah, exams from university keeps people busy. Yeah, it sure does. Hello, new here. Decided to short sell in crypto yesterday, but I'm wondering of why the crash. I really just, like I said, I just don't. I think it's just tax selling. That's all it is. And like I said, we've been bearish for a while here. Let's see, VIX futures up 9 now to 23. Yeah, but you're not going to see 80 or something like that because those volatility funds are all gone. We had that conversation about this last week. So let's take a look at that. Let's see. Open Sesame. And on Victoria, I'm sorry we can't show you the ETH because it doesn't want to be fed into the system for us right now. I'm not sure why. All we're stuck is with the Bitcoin, and we do have Coinbase too. That's the other one that we're keeping track of, which is very interesting. Coinbase is another good one. And that's like brokerage house slash clearinghouse slash something. Let me see. There is VIX. And there's the volatility index. Let's see, where's it at? Right there, we can widen that out. I was looking at that. You know, I think we were talking about it. That's why it was widened. You know, it's going to be a challenge to get it up into these, you know, up to this 25 and 30 area. It's not going to be easy because, as I showed before, now that the volatility funds have been, you know, closed. Let's see, where are they at? You know, of March of last year, they all went out of business. You know, see, they drove it up into the 80s, and it was them going out of business. They had to cover their shorts. So volatility, they were selling premium to the volatility here, and so, you know, for us to see the 80s again would be a big surprise. I'm thinking more the best we're going to do is get up into the 30s, possibly play with the, you know, that area, 35 to 40. That would be about as high as I would expect it. You can see it's topped out there a few times over the last 12 months, and that would be pretty much where I would expect to see it go too. You can see last week they drove it up to the, what was that, the 28 area, almost 29. So I'm not really expecting a lot out of it. You know, I mean, yeah, I mean, trade that side of it, that's for sure. Let's see, so I hope I answered your question, Victoria. Oh, what time's that? Let's see if I get the. What time? I'm sorry. Just remind me again what I was rambling about, and I'll tell you what the time was. But I was this morning, about 2 hours ago, I was trying to get the ETH into the system here. The data feed is not recognizing it still, and I can see why, because like I said, the open interest to ETH futures and Bitcoin futures is less than the daily volume, and that says to me that there's just not enough participation. That's what the problem is there. And again, who would really want to trade those things? You know, someone would be smart to have an open, you know, create a over-the-counter option and binary contract, and stay away from the exchanges altogether. Because, you know, in the end result, the exchanges are controlled by the governments, and that's what the objective is of Bitcoin and Ethereum and all the other cryptos, is to be away from the governments, not connected to the governments. Let's see, this is not a crypto crash, it's a stock index crash overall. It's not even a crash. You know, it's just a selling, that's all. What is it, 1%, 1.25%, 2%? Crash has to be like 30%, you know, 25%. And you got to think cryptos now are just at the 30 some odd percent. So they've already done their, as you would say, crash, you know. You see lumber 16, yeah, I mean, May 10th now 1260. Yeah, they're starting to back off some of the commodities. That's right. Every commodity, be it gold or metals, gas, mild, red, crude, copper down most 2%. Yeah, they're backing them off. Let's see what gold looks like this morning. I did see it flirting with a daily sell. We'll take a look at crude too. I think it's more of just capital. You know, look at that. Gold looks fine. Just give it a refresh, but I saw it down earlier today, but it's back up there now. Let's see what silver's doing. We'll jump around a little bit here. Now silver, you know, just when you think it's safe to get into it, it does junk stuff like this. I mean, you know, it's fallen down yesterday from a close of was that 28.33, and the low today is 27.42, almost a full dollar down. And it's coming back, but you can see here it's flirting with the sell now for the day. It wasn't doing that earlier today. Let's see. Around what time will I get up again? Will it get up again? I don't know. You know, we'll follow the math. Let me just reiterate by showing you the chart. Right there. And also, you know, Coinbase is feeling the same thing. Let me throw Coinbase up there also. Coinbase, so it would be in, I think I have it in the Forex or stock combos. Probably stock combos. There we go. So here's Coinbase on a daily basis. You know, it's still going down. It's in a weekly sell, and it's in a daily sell. You know, it's just gliding along here. The intraday, right there. You know, it's pressing down. It's been pressing down. It went into. Did that do a buy? I think that put it into a buy for 1 bar, and back into the sell again yesterday. And you can see they've gapped it down today. This is Coinbase. So this thing's been gliding down and doing. This is an intraday chart we use on it. It's a good product. Trades around a lot. And it's a good way of being able to. I participate. You know, I can be long and short inside the crypto universe. So what we're looking for now is we're waiting for this, Victoria. We're looking for. Let's see where we at. Right there. We're looking for this to go into a weekly buy. We want our line to be above the 0 line on the weekly basis. We'd like to see this make it into the daily basis. See this green line here. So we can contract that up a little bit. I'd like to see the green line start to get through the 0 line right there. So probably, you know, I was saying to Robin. Was I saying to Robin? Who was I saying it to? I was saying to somebody on the phone about an hour ago. You know, maybe next week. I think it was Robin I was talking to him about. I would say that probably next week we might start to see a firming up, or by the end of the week, I don't know, something like that. They'll probably be scared of the weekend, you know, and then someone will probably take it up on the weekend, like they did beforehand. Just like when it topped out at 65,000, they took it down on a weekend to 60,000. So I would think we might start flirting with a weekly buy going into next week. Let's see now. Daniel says Euro AUD looks to go very bullish maybe. Let's see. We do follow that. We'll drift back to the currencies here now. We are definitely seeing a lot of good action here. Euro AUD right there. And we've been in a daily buy since here. And right there. And oh, I guess we can bring it down. Belongs down in the center bar there. So it's been in a daily buy since there, off of that one right there before the move up. And this didn't go into a weekly sell, so it's been in a weekly buy since here. And all it did is zigzag throughout this whole thing. We went into the buy here after that sell. We went to sell there, and then, you know, you couldn't take that. You could take the long here, which was fine because it made money. And then it went into a sell here. You can't take that because we're in a weekly buy, of course, and then goes back into the sell here. Put that in there. But you don't take it. You just make sure you're not long. That's all. And then you wait for it to give us the signal again to be long, and then it goes back into the buy here with it still in a weekly buy, and just by the hair of its chinny chin, you can see 0.00025 stayed in the weekly buy by the hair of its chin. So, let's see. Oh, Turkish lira. Let's see what they're doing there. Right there. Maybe gonna go get my yellow dots. Where's my yellow dots? Go do those yellow dots. Turkish lira. There it is. And you can see the daily is trying to move back in. It's holding pretty well in its weekly buy at the moment. Yeah, so I can see the Turkish lira lifting. Let's take a look at the combination. We've been looking at both now. We're looking at the Euro Turkish lira at the same time. And then there it is right there. Let's give it a refresh. And you know, we need to ditch the red dot, and it'll be in a full daily buy, especially with it right there. And it's been a very good indicator. You know, it's ahead of the curve. So we're seeing the strength. It's been in a weekly buy a week earlier than the dollar pair. So, let's see, do we have all the answers? I think we've answered everybody. If anybody has a question, just fire it out. We're willing to, you know, go back and look and so forth and so on. There's no problem about that. All right, let's see. So there is Turkish lira. Let's take a look at the euro. Euro's holding up pretty well there. You can see that. I mean, it's a little weakness, but nothing major. And over here on the cable, same thing, holding up. You know, it's not backing off too much. I mean, it is down from yesterday, but not a lot. And all the internals are looking fine, fine as kind. All looking very healthy. What's this? Let's see what Daniel says. Dollar Turkish lira might eventually break out and reach the 870. What's our yellow dots? I think it's like 9 something, right? Where's it at? We'll find it in a second. There it is. The yellow dots are 890-ish area, I think it is. That's what we're expecting. We're expecting to see the move to the 890 area, and even possibly up into the 920s. We'll see how they go with that. All right. Now, I'll have to hunt down. Yeah. So now let's. I was just laughing at somebody saying Schrodinger, the physicist, looks like Woods, the actor, and the young picture of him. He's that guy with the cat in the trunk and all that stuff, dead or alive, you know, not sure which is which, so forth. All right. No quantum mechanics today. Let's go with, where are we at? Let's go to Canadian. And the Canadian, you can see, is trying to lift back up again. Let's give it a Control R and reload it. Yeah, but we haven't been able to get the lines through right here yet, like they're doing with the, like they were doing with this, the dollar Swiss. That's getting up and lifting, but the Canadian and the dollar is not. It's still being strong. I'd imagine oil is probably sideways because of it. And then, let's see. Let's look at the Euro Canadian. Where are you, Euro Canadian? There it is. Now this is lifting up. That's normally signs of strength in the oil market. So let's take a peek at that oil market situation. Heading over to there. And we'll take a look at NASCAD too at the same time. There's oil. Now oil is down. Matter of fact, it's flirting with a daily sell, which is curious. So the pairs trades are off today on that. Let's see what NASCAD looks like out of this all. Close that. NASCAD. NASCAD, where are you? There you are. So NASCAD's heading down, and so is oil, that's normal. And we have Canadian trying to lift up. That's putting pressure on it, or vice versa, showing us the pressure on oil very clearly there. So it's only the Euro Canadian that's showing some life in it right there. Not a lot, but when this rises, usually oil rises. We'll see how that plays itself out. We're just watching a lot of these tools. They're usually very indicative of what the future direction is. And in this case here, we just started following the Euro CAD, and that has been pretty interesting and pretty decisive. So we'll see if by the end of the day they bring the oil back. And today's Wednesday too, so it's 8:54 Eastern Standard Time here in the States. At 10:30, which is about an hour and 36 minutes away, the oil report will come out. Every Wednesday it comes out, and that could really change the direction of the product. All right, now also I think it's the beige book or something's coming out today too on the Federal Reserve. Let's see what Dukascopy says on the calendar. Let's see. Where is that? Dukascopy and the calendar. No, not that. Not that. Nope. Let's try that again. Dukascopy and the calendar. Come on, I can find you. I know I can. There we are. It's only on the top. I have it as the number one thing. Let's see. Okay, so today, the noise that's coming out is, where is it at? Today's Wednesday. Okay. FOMC minutes come out at in the afternoon at 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Is that right? 14? No, wait a minute. I'm 12. Yeah, I think that's what it is. So I think it's coming out at that time, coming out in the afternoon. So at 2 o'clock. So we'll see what the FOMC minutes look like. Maybe they'll change some words for inflation or something like that. The market would be very happy if the Federal Reserve would talk about inflation in real terms, because that's one of the things that's putting pressure on the stock market right now. Is there's two things putting pressure on the stock market in the United States. One is that earnings of all these companies is probably going to top out on this quarter. Okay, so the second quarter is probably going to be the highest in earnings, and it's going to only go down, not up. So that's going to scare money to begin with. But secondarily to it is that the volatility funds of the last, since 2009-10, went out of business last March in 2020. So we're going to feel a lot less pressure on the selling than we did when the volatility funds were still, making money. And what happened was that they overplayed their position and lost all the money that they made, and they lost billions. And 3 of them went out of business altogether. 2 were lucky enough to be able to shut down and walk away. So that's not too bad. And supposedly they kept some of the money too, over the last 10 or 11 years. So right now what we're starting to feel is the end effect of a fundamental, or the beginning effect of a fundamental. And that fundamental is that earnings are probably going to be the highest they have been, on record, or some crazy number over the last year or half a year. It's going to explode, and when it explodes, then money is going to, in other words, it has exploded, and it's going to finish off this quarter, and at the end of June. And when that happens, it's going to reevaluate where the S&P 500 should be. And so funds will probably start to liquidate some because they know that they're not going to see that top. I mean, that high is not going to probably survive. So we could see 3,950 on the S&P 500, that type of thing. And right now the S&P 500 is, let's see, where is it at? Right here. S&P 500 is trading at 4,066, coming down from an all-time high of no more than 10 days ago of, was it even 10 days, 8 days ago? Coming down from an all-time high of 4,231. So the money is already coming out of it. They know at the end of June that all the earnings will have been out, and they know that the third quarter is not going to see anything like this. It's just not going to be there. And so they'll sell the stocks down more and more. So you're getting that sell in May and go away thing going on. That's pretty much what it comes down to. The all-time high is in May, and we are now almost 200 points below the all-time high. All right, let's see, where do we go from here? Oh, there you go. Victoria, okay, here we go. Victoria says, right now I have a demo account, but I want to go into a live one. Any tutorials you can recommend regarding commodities, foreign currencies, and cryptos? Wow, that's a good one. We do them here. We discuss any question you have about it. We can answer it. Tutorials. Let me think. What can you watch? When it comes to, a lot of that stuff is hard to say. Make sure whatever you do watch, let me emphasize this. Remember that we are in what I call a proactive trading universe. And a lot of people write articles and they tell you, try to teach you from a reactive one when they were on a trading desk or on a trading floor. But it's the wrong way now because we're in a proactive world. So in other words, you have to, use a fundamental approach, be it fundamental in the sense of using, let's see, you're looking at commodities. Where was it at? You're looking at commodities, currencies, and cryptos. Well, the fundamentals, like economic fundamentals, like PPI and CPI, and GDP and inflation and all like that, are not necessarily a governing product anymore. As much as I just got done saying that earnings are going to drop dramatically after this quarter, and that's putting pressure on the stocks. Fundamentals are not necessarily the guidepost anymore. It's more of the way central banks are, and to a great extent, not a lot of people talk about it besides, the few of us that do, like myself. So I don't really, I don't know anybody that, I just don't look around that much anymore to see if anybody has a tutorial about it. I'm sure there are. I'll take a look and see. Tune in tomorrow. We'll see what we can find. When it comes to Forex, Forex has been the better of all the products that you're looking at. Cryptos are pretty good too, in the sense of, they've been running very strong. I'm a little disappointed with inflation kicking up that there's not more buying going on in the cryptos. But the markets are very, very thin. Let's see, Bitcoin now 33,000. Bitcoin's at 33,000? Wasn't it at 38,000? Let's see. Oh yeah, look at that. They just keep on pushing it down. Setting up great buying opportunities. We'll see how, oh yeah, look at that. It got down to, where did it get down to? It got down to 32,340. So, well, like I said, we've been in a daily sell now for 2+ weeks. So, this is not a surprise to me. Bitcoin, all the way to 20. No idea. Right now it's going down. I'm on your side in the sense that, yeah, it's going down because all my work is pointing down. We'll see how that plays out by the end of the day and how they treat it going into the weekend and then the following week. But you're not saying 20,000 today. Hey, middle age. I know, isn't that something? And when I sent the chart out this morning, it was trying to go into a sell. Let me show you what the chart did this morning. Let's see, where's it at? Right. I know it's on here somewhere. There it is. This is the chart we sent out this morning too on gold. Where's it at? There it is. Look at the difference. I had a red dot going this morning. This thing was going after the zero line. I didn't take it too serious because look at the weekly. It was very firm, But that was this morning, no more than like an hour and a half ago. And look at it now. Let's put it up there again on the gold. Now they've lifted it back up. It's like a flight to safety type thing going on. And a little surprise, I guess, because of the pressure in cryptos too. You'd imagine that they're stepping up to buy some gold. Because they're probably confused altogether about the cryptos. I mean, at this point, cryptos are almost down 50% from their highs of 3 weeks ago, or 4 weeks ago when I went into the weekly sell. So that's really probably has a lot of them, all upside down. Let's see. Daniel says 20,000 in the next few weeks could be days. Bitcoin needs to be at least above 40,000 to recover. Huh. Okay, we'll see. I just wait for a weekly buy and a daily buy, and to me, I become a bull. So that is where we are with this one. Oops, let's see, where is it? Right there. So yeah, look at that. What a difference. See it? From this morning, a couple hours ago, in gold. So I guess as the cryptos rolled over, it got worse. Silver, check out what we sent out in the silver this morning. Silver, how come I didn't have the red line in there? There should have been a red line in there because of the way it had fallen down. I thought I put a red line in there. So you can see this morning it was trying to do that, and you can see the weekly was showing some real damage to it. Now let's take a look at it right now. and they're bouncing it back. We'll see how the end of the day comes out in both of those products. There we go. Yeah, so it's bouncing back a little bit, nothing serious, but just a little bit on the silver. But not pushing through the weekly sell at the moment. Okay. Where are we at here? Let's go to, I think we left off at, what is that? Not that. Let's minimize that. That's a stock indices live. If anybody wants to see the stock indices live real quick, we can put it back up there if they're interested. Let's see, what are we looking at here? So we're looking at, what's next here? So we did we did the commodities. Let's go back to the currencies. What we do on the currencies, we jump over to the ruble. Not that, right there. Let's see, ruble on the wall. There it is. Still in the daily sell, some mild pressure on it. We're really hoping to see it get some life into it, and we see the product find some positive direction out of it. Let's see. Let's go to ruble. Oh, there's right. Yeah, that's ruble. Okay, now let's jump over to Japanese yen. Japanese yen is still holding down, but the weekly is trying to get into the plus here. Might as well start to highlight that. There we go. And then, let's see, where is it then? Then we drift over to Mexican peso. Dollar peso right there. A little firmness in there today. You can see the white line too moving up, and the weekly is trying to get into the plus, but it's still minus by a hair. Minus 0.02. Alright, now let's drift our way over to the South African Rand. See if that's starting to, that should be still falling because of the way the metals are trying to go up. Go up. Upsy daisy. There it is right there. So that's just flat to up a little bit. So not a lot of big move going on there, but it's been a nice tight market, really. And then that's the end of what we look at in currencies. Unless you want to see something, just put it on the chat line and we'll go back to them. Doesn't matter if it's cable or GBP and dollar or euro or whatever, Canadian, whatever you're interested in, we'll go right back to it and look. All right, now let's see what else we got going on here. Okay, so now let's take a look at stocks again. I guess from there we've seen Bitcoin down pretty dramatically. Stock indices are nowhere near as getting the damage. So that's the, let's see right there. You can see it's not challenging something that's like 3 months old. I mean, Bitcoin, in all honesty, is chasing after, what's it, a 5-month low, a 6-month low? Basically, about February, I guess it is. So that's a 1, 2, 3, 4. 4-month low. That's what it's going after, which is pretty dramatic, We'll see how that plays out. I think I did mention at one point the top looked like 3 peaks in a dome. It's an old trading pattern. I think we've shown you before. We saw that months ago. We were talking about it, or a month ago or two. And obviously it's come to fruition. It should find some bottoming in here in the 3,000 area. You can see there now it's trading at $31,320. Yeah, so $31,110. Interesting. All right, now where do we go from here? Let's go take a look at the stock indexes. We've already looked at. You normally will look at like Coinbase, Bitcoin, and look at the stock indices. So there is the Nasdaq. You can see that. Pressing down. It didn't get into the buy because that was a red dot there last night. I don't know what happened to it, but we're leaving it the way it is. There was a red dot. Yeah, there it is. There's a red dot. I see it now. So there's the red dot right there. And so it's on its, it's still going down. It's been in a sell now from the 14,000 area, right there. Is that it? Right there? Yeah, right there. From right there. And we went to the weekly sell last week, and you can see it's taken another 500 points out of it. S&P 500, right there. Getting into the weekly sell this week, and it was in a daily sell yesterday, and it's pressing down. So there's some room there for binary and option traders. Then over there, the Dow Jones Industrial Average, same situation, joining in with the S&P, but still hasn't made the low of last week. That's interesting. The old stock indice is holding up because a lot of those stocks are probably going to reflect some big numbers. Whew, I don't know why I'm yawning, but I was up shifting option positions this morning when they were down on the lows, so I guess that's part of it. Let me think now. The Russell 2000, let's see what that's doing. Right there. And you can see it's pressing into the sell today. Russell's being pretty, they've taken it down from the 20, this is, I think right here is the all-time high, back in March. Let's just take a look, we'll scrunch it up. Yeah, that's the all-time high. So this thing has basically plateaued, and it doesn't seem to want to break this plateau whatsoever so far. I guess 2100 would be the real clear sign of breaking the 2100. Yeah, I like that. I'm thinking about what Middle Age said about the gold being in strong hands. There's no doubt that it's in strong hands. The problem is that the paper money shakes out the market overall. What is it? Shakes out the paper money. But yeah, you can't buy the metals for the prices that they talk about. It's really hard to do. They're not selling. They're not so voluntarily willing to sell at those prices for the physical. Just trade them there or buy them there. That's about it. All right, now we've done the stock indices, we've done the commodities, we've done all the currencies. Oh, Middle Age, you know what I came across? We got a client that's doing rough rice. You want to see what that looks like? It's got a pretty good chart. Let's close. Let's see, not that. Yeah, check this out. Rough rice. It's not a bad chart. Oh, are you still fooling around with? Are you long calls in the coffee still? I haven't even looked at coffee lately. I imagine what Daniel said about some of the stuff pulling back. There's a rough rice contract. Not bad. Went into the daily sell right there. Had the volatility signal right there. And see, VIX up, gold slightly up, dollar up in Forex. Yeah, exactly. It's like a flight to safety. I don't think there's much safety you have to worry about, but that's what it is. I was recommending collars the last couple of weeks, and obviously, it's really starting to come to fruition now. I was saying buy 3 or 4 month old collars, and you'll make your money. And sure enough, it's starting to do it already. Let's see, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, that's rice. So, I'm going to close that. Still in set coffee. Let's see what that looks like. That's where I'm heading now. Set coffee. Boy, that sounds good. I could use a cup of coffee right now. I'm going to have to get a wireless headphone set, and then I can walk into the kitchen and cook up some coffee when I want it while I'm doing a webinar. Oh my God. Okay, yeah, here we go. That's Coinbase. Now let's go take a look at, there it is. I leave it up there for you. Look at that today. No, that's yesterday, isn't it? Yesterday they took it out towards the highs, haven't they? Not exactly joining in. Now what's interesting is we went into a daily sell. Where did we go in daily sell? Right here. and it has not gone down. Look at this. Went into the daily sell there. Let's fill this in. I don't think we've looked at it in a little while. Probably last time you asked, that was last time we looked at it. That's a sell right there. There we go. So, let's see. So I went into the sell here, and they're doing that to it this morning. That's kind of neat. Is that this morning or last night? That's last night. How's that not in a buy with a move like that? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I see what you're talking about, but we're still in a weekly buy right here. So you can't take that short no matter what. The only thing you could have traded here so far is this little long. Sold my July calls for, oh nice, 2 weeks back. Cool. Very cool. Yeah, the commodities, as Daniel said, you know, they're starting to pull some of them back. But, you know, I mean, board feet, $12.50, my God, that's still high no matter what. Even with it up in the 15, 16 area, it's still high. I mean, I remember when that contract was trading at $2 and $3, $1.50. You know, Robin was in there, I think it was trading $1.50 to $2, a range. Now it's trading at $12 to $16 a range. All right. Oh yeah, and what did you think of that rough rice? Check that out. Where is it at? There it is. Got into the buy here. The next day it exploded up. It was in the weekly buy, you know, not confirmed, but it was in the weekly buy when it all happened. That was another run. And so rice is backing off like the way Daniel's saying a lot of the stuff is at this point. We'll see how that goes. It's too bad we don't get more of the softs. You know, I'd love to have coffee up there. When I was a young man, I traded behind the coffee pit. That was always entertaining. I think I walked over there once in a while just to have fun because it was right behind us, the pit. So was the orange juice. Orange juice was behind us too. We had the power to trade a lot of that stuff. Let's see. Our seats covered that. And I had an option seat that covered it also. All right. Where else do we go from here? I don't see anywhere else to go. So let's do this. Let's take a look at let's see, right there, I guess it is. Take a look at, you want to look at some of the commodities. They've been feeling that pressure too. You can see soybeans not going far, but in a daily sell, but holding up in the weekly. We're seeing a lot of these commodities all rolling over. The wheat, same situation. Corn, same situation, all feeling pressure, and we've been in daily sells, you know, for 1 to 2 weeks in all of them. But we're still holding up in the weekly buy. So I just see this as like a profit taking for tax season, and once the tax season profit take, in other words, the money's going into to pay taxes, they got to sell something. You got to sell something to be able to pay for, you know, the taxes. Indeed, indeed. All right. Wednesday. Indeed. All right. Now we can take a look at some of the other commodities if we don't have anybody asking anything. Let's see. I haven't looked at rice in a long time. Going to check it out. Yeah, since we can get a chart on it. It's not bad. It seems okay, but I'll tell you this. Look at the. Let me just show you something before you get too into it. Obviously, it joined in with the explosion. Let me see. Where's it at? Right here. Where is it at? No, it's on the commodity side right there. Okay, so check this out first before you get too involved in it. The thing that disturbed me, and then you know what, it could literally be, we can learn together, because I haven't looked at it. This is the first morning we sent it out. But I noticed way back, like back here, it's kind of thin, but then maybe this is, this is a July contract. Maybe the contracts have to be updated more. I mean, it went into a weekly sell here, went into a weekly sell there, and then there's your daily sell. This is from another chart. That's why it's screwed up like that. And then let's move those over like that. You see there, that's the beginning of it, a buy. Move that over. And it goes into a sell. You can't look at it. There's no open, high, low, or close. I'm not sure what that is. It's probably like a close. There's no high, low at all, and an open. So the bars, it obviously, you rotate this futures contract pretty aggressively, it sounds like to me. So in other words, we're in July, so probably somewhere around, I think the next one is September. We'll probably throw the September one if they subscribe. But maybe it'll be a good product. I don't know, to pay attention to. You can see here what the beginning of that commodity explosion. They joined in, and if we widen this and move this over like so, that's not too bad. It's decent. I think it's $10. Robin was saying it's $10 a tick. So it goes into the buy here, and it's a winner chicken dinner. But you're in a weekly sell, so you can't take it. And then we go into the sell right there. That you can take, and it's a nice win because it goes down for 3 big days afterwards. So, and then it gives you a warning right there, and then you have you're through the weekly buy, but you're not confirmed in it, and you're in a daily buy. So at least it saves you. So it looks like it might trade pretty good, but we'll have to. This is the first time for me to look at this in maybe a half a decade or a decade. I haven't looked at Rice in so long. Now, I guess I might have not looked at Rice since 2008. So it could be literally 12 years or 13 years. And so ever since 2008 and the collapse of the financial system, I would say that, it's well worth keeping an eye on it. Maybe another good, how, for the currency traders out there, how we saw exotic pairs become liquid and active, whereas before they used to have to trade by appointment. Well, Rice may be the same way. In other words, any commodity has become dollarized, I guess you could say. So, what we may be looking at here is that this product is, all the commodities on some level or another are going to be more active because they're in need, and because of the way things are. With when I say what the way things are, with the way commodities have been exploding. So that is that. All right, now, for those that like to trade hogs, hogs went into the daily buy. They're flirting with the weekly. They went into the weekly last week in the sell after something crazy like, what was it, 20 some odd weeks? They were in a weekly buy since mid-December. The product went from 80 cents a pound to $1. Was that $1.15? It's a 35-cent move, which is like literally a third of a price. And then we went into the daily sell there, closed in a weekly sell, and today we are popping up, and we are above in the weekly today, and no more than I think yesterday. Yesterday was in there too. Monday was it may have also been, it may not have been in there, and then Monday it took off. So it's really starting to surprise us on the strength of the hogs. It's been in a heck of a run. We went into the sell here, and near the top, the day after the top, topped out at 1482. We went into the sell at 1210, and then it slid all the way down to 079. So You know, it was a good warning sign not to stay long in that product. Decent, huh? All right, what kind of title do we call this webinar? That's the bigger question today. We've been all over the place. I guess cryptos. I think I think people could tune into this and probably think, you know, cryptos might be the way to go here. What's up with this? I want to start a conversation. Let's see. Maybe I'll turn it off and turn it back on again. There we go. So I think we'll label this webinar Cryptos versus the World. That's what it feels like too. It does. It feels like it's that type of thing where the cryptos are being chased and pushed on. And yeah, let's see. Middle Age says the weekly and daily quants have been on point in hogs. Yeah, they did a good job. You know, the weekly was dipping down, dropped below the time manifold. You know, the week before closed in a weekly sell. The daily was protective of the move. You know, it's been interesting, that's for sure. It's been a really good play there. You know, daily buy in this weekly buy went from like 106 up to almost 115. That's a pretty good move in the product. But I'm not thinking the world's come to an end in cryptos. I'm just saying that I think it's tax selling and some liquidations to get away from whatever's going on at the moment. Let's delete this. What is this thing doing? The tablet's doing something odd. There we go. Let's do this again. Oop, up there. Up there. There we go. All right, traders. I think we're pretty much at the end of the road unless someone has something to say. Happy trails to you until we meet again, which will be Thursday, tomorrow, and it'll be a day before the end of the week, which makes me very, very happy. Happy trails to you, to all our cyber trading friends. And Victoria, welcome to the hood. And if we can answer any of these commodity things, I'll look and see if I can find something for you. And we'll go from there. So this is Doc saying arrivederci.